Welcome back to Man vs. Meeple. Today we have a review of a game that would not be the kind of game that we typically review here on Man vs. Meeple.
Nope.
This one is Kung Fu Zoo. It is the silliest, most fun little game we've probably played in the last week or so, and we couldn't tear ourselves away from it when we started playing it.
Yep, it is a 2 to 4 player game. It's a strict dexterity game. We've had this for a little while, and I broke it out with my daughter one evening when we were bored, and decided, well, you know, we might give it a shot. And lo and behold, the game is incredible. Like, it's super fun to play.
Well, and then you told me, you broke it out and you said, we won't be able to stop playing.
Yeah.
And it's the way the game goes. You play and you're like, okay, let's go again. Let's go again. And again, this is not a deep, deep game.
No.
But it is so much fun.
Yeah, we can probably explain it in 5 minutes or less. So, the box itself is the game board. So you're playing inside of this tray. This tray has 4 little cages or places where you're trying to flick the other player's dice into. Each of the characters is going to represent one of the zoo animals. You have a cheetah, a gorilla, an elephant, and a zebra. And each player has 4 dice. And on these dice, they're 6-sided dice, and they have representations of that animal's sides. You have its face, its back, its feet, its rear end, and its sides, basically. And all of these have different gameplay abilities according to the animal itself. However, the game can be played in 2 different ways. You have a cage battle, which we found to be the most fun of the 2, and then you have a points battle. So, let's explain the game. It's super simple to play.
With the cage battle, which is sort of our favorite, one player is going to start, and if you see there's these little dimples on the middle of each side, that is generally where you're going to have to flick your animal from the very beginning. You can do that. You flick it in. The first animal you need to flick in, you just flick in there to get things going. After that point, it's all rules are aside because you can actually flick the animal from that dimple and try to hit as many animals as you can.
Yeah, once all players' dice are inside of the arena, then you can start doing a little bit different things with it. So at the very beginning, you're just picking one of these dots, and you can twist this thing around as you so wish to flick from any one of these 4 dots. Once all players' animals are inside or dice are inside, then the game takes on a different type of meaning to it. So the idea is you're trying to flick the other player's dice into these cages, right? And you're allowed to pick up dice at this point. However, there's some rules in how this applies. If you pick up you're not allowed to pick up dice that are on their back with their feet.
Yeah, those animals are stunned, so they are that way until they happen to maybe be flipped over.
Yeah. You can pick up any other facing except the head and place it on any one of the 4 dots again and flick from that location. However, if you do have one that is face up, you're allowed to place that dice anywhere on the outer rim. It doesn't matter where it is. It doesn't have to be on any of these dimples. That way you can get in some better positioning trying to get people's dice in those cages.
Yeah, and that may not sound like much, but it is a significant difference from being stuck on those dimples on the edge.
Right. Also, each of the different players in the cage battle has a unique ability. You're going to play this game in a 2-player game for 3 rounds, and you're allowed to use this special ability once each of those 3 rounds. Those are a variety of different things. For instance, the elephant allows you, if you have a face up, to shoot from the location within the board itself. So if you have a prime location to be able to shoot someone's die into the cage, you're just going to leave that face up elephant right there. The gorilla allows you to take one of your stunned ones that's already on the table and then place your dice that is face up on top of that and shoot from the top of him.
Right. The cheetah is really interesting because the cheetah is actually, after your turn, you're able to take one of your die and place it anywhere on the board. So you could actually back it right up here into the corner. And when I did that, I thought, well, that one's safe, but
it's not.
It's not really safe. It's actually an easy one to hit because it's in that corner and it usually gets knocked out.
And then the zebra has a very cool ability where you have to make the opponent close their eyes before they flick. So they can line it up, but once they line it up, eyes shut. The other way to play the game is through the points battle. The points battle works a little bit differently. You're going to play for points. Points are awarded depending upon which one of the facings are left up once all the dice are within the arena. So face-up animals that show just their face are worth 5 points, whereas if they're stunned with their feet up, they're only worth 2 points.
Yeah, and there's some variants with the 3- and 4-player game. The biggest difference is with a 3- or 4-player game, everyone's going to play with 2 of the animal dice, and then once they're caged, or once your animals are caged, then you bring your substitution animals in, if you will. And again, it's last animal standing.
I mean, this is a slow-mo shot, but this game is so much fun. Like, it's ridiculous how much enjoyment there is from just flicking dice. Now, we thought, I mean, you love Crokinole, right?
I do.
It's a really fun game for you.
It has some similarities.
However, this is just, I mean, it's very fun because you're trying to get these dice, and dice don't roll in a in a good way, right?
No.
So you have some crazy shots that line up sometimes, and some shots that you have the perfect lineup, and then the dice just veers off and goes in the hole, or knocks your own things into the hole. It's fun.
Yeah, it should be said too that the dice knocked out of the ring. If it's on your flick, it's out of the round. If you knock someone else's die out of the ring, they get to pick it up and place it back in there. But the game is really fast playing.
Yeah.
Like Jeremy said, it is a lot of fun. And if you ever get a chance to demo this thing, absolutely demo it. I think there's a high probability that you'll probably pick it up.
So that is Kung Fu Zoo from WizKids Games. It is a 2 to 4 player game. Plays in quite literally 10 minutes. You're in and out.
Yeah,
you want to
if
play
that.
it again and again and again. If you guys have any questions about the game, make them in the comments below. Subscribe to us, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and everything else that we do. And we will catch you guys next time.
Bye-bye.